Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. Let's continue with this series of friendships tarot readings. I decided to extend it to another week because I had a few pendant. Nevertheless, I was checking some of the options that I had on the post, and honestly, like, I would appreciate if you could actually submit different ones, like much more interesting ones, because it seems like either it was recommended, some readings that I had already, some duos that I had already made, and also others that I'm not interested in reading, to be honest. So I would appreciate if you have or haven't recommended me yet your favorite duo, so I can get new more ideas for this week readings. I still have a few spots left. So yes, today is going to be the turn of a girls' generation Taeyeon and a Shinee Ski. So yes, these two are very interested duo. They are very dynamic. I think I have seen them like like do a lot of TikToks, or probably a lot of appearances or variety shows. I think I saw them on Idol's dictation test or something like that, they are usually guests in there. I found their chemistry really entertaining. So let's see what the cards have to say about these two. I placed Taeyeon on the left and Ki on the right. So let's begin with the reading. She got the cards of the Two of Cups in reversed, Ten of Cups, and Ten of Swords. So yes, starting off, actually this is really interesting because I was like, oh, the Two of Cups in reversed, and it was funny because almost the whole cards were upwards, but um, so I think that there's something here from her side that I think that it's not directly connected to Key or their dynamic. I think that is more telling me about how at some point recently, or actually a while ago, she had been feeling like she is not, as if she doesn't belong anymore in a certain place. I think that, the Ten of Cups, it's also a card that talks, about community, about, belonging to a place that seems like a family and that you somehow had called your home or your family or your friends, or, like feeling really secure in that place. And since we have the Two of Cups, it seems like she went through really difficult times. And she's like starting to realize something about her connections with people that she considered family. Somehow there's this sense of like feeling really hurt and disappointed about a few things about her community, and I think that this could potentially talk about her closest circle. Like people that she used to consider friends or loved ones. There's because the Two of Cups definitely, like, it radiated for me is very strong. Presence of, like, okay, this relationship doesn't exist anymore, so I'm cutting connections, like there's no love here anymore, so I'm feeling angry, uh I'm feeling not supported by the people that should be supporting me. So I think that this is showing me as a preview of how her connection with Key probably has become stronger nowadays, especially because of all the disappointments that she had been going through. Like probably, I don't know if she had a breakup with someone, like someone that she really loved, but this was like a serious breakup. Um, and somehow she started to see how people around her would react, probably like not saying it to her face, but showing a bit of like not being able to support her like she would expect them to support her. So I think that she definitely was really hurt by this. And when it comes to Key, I think that she found in him this last, probably this last 2 years or so, um, a sense of like, okay, this is really home, this is really like home. Like, I can count on him when I'm at my best, and I can count on him when I am my lowest. So definitely, I think that for her, it was a whole process of, opening her eyes to situations, to sort of like be like, oh, okay, like it is what it is. So definitely I sense a bit of loneliness at the same time. Like, oh, like I thought that I had the support of many people, and now that I'm going through this, I'm opening my eyes to a different scenario. Like it seems like I'm dealing with this by myself, or somehow people had showed her like a different side of themselves. Like, oh, like we shouldn't talk about this, like you should talk to other people about your issues because we don't have time, because we are busy. Or there's a sense of her feeling disappointed, like, oh, let down somehow. um and I think that in the case of Key is this sort of like, okay, like he definitely is not going to solve my problems. He's not going to be able to solve my issues. I have to deal with my issues all by myself. But he's this sort of person that he will stay by your side no matter what. Even though he knows that she's not in a bad mood, or that she's not going through an emotional good period. He doesn't judge her. He just allows her to greet what she has to greet, or somehow like go through this emotional anguish, or desperation, screaming and kicking. Like, yes, you like, let it out. I'm not judging you, but I'm not engaging either. I don't think that he's like, oh, come here, I'm going to comfort you. It's more about, okay, I'm here, if you need me, I'm here. So I think that for her, this sort of disappointment, or these like events had helped her to realize that she has a very strong bond with him. That going through dark times has taught her that, oh, like he is real, like he is a real friend. Like, oh, he's not like the other people that were fake or something like that. There's something very strong about Taeyeon, that she's very loyal, but at the same time she's not afraid to confront people about things that don't make her happy. So I think that probably she got into a few arguments with people of her past, and now she's like, okay, I'm not giving you my love anymore. So I'm being a bit more cautious about who I relate myself to. And in the case of Key, he got the Eight of Swords, the King of Pentacles in reversed, and then the Six of Wands. So yes, I think that in Key's perspective, actually he also went through a lot of period of not knowing what to do with his life, and I think that this is not about fame, this is not about money, this is not about, getting a job. I think that this is more about him feeling in this sort of like, never ending quest or of trying to find answers to his anxiety. I think that when I read for him, I think I came out, or I don't know if I mentioned this on a live, but I think that he's slowly connecting with his past hurts or with his past trauma. There's something about him that he, through the years, tried to somehow contain in some himself. Like, okay, I'm fine, I'm okay, I'm okay. Especially not being able to. It's not about not being able to talk about things that hurt him. It's more about being like, oh, this is not the right time to talk about this. Oh no, I don't want to talk about this. Oh, I don't think this is. Don't force me to talk about this because I don't want to. So he was a bit on the defensive. Like, okay, I don't talk about this because I consider that it's not the right time, the right moment. But I think that he's slowly opening up to confront these fears, these very sad feelings, these because it has prolonged in time. There's a very open wound here that sometimes makes him prisoner. That probably he gets a bit like nostalgic. Probably because we have the King of Pentacles in reverse, so probably when nostalgia hits him, actually, is when he feels at his best. Probably when he feels like he's doing great in his career, in his projects, he's making his dreams come true. He's like being really active, in his work, in his production. He's been really productive. This is where actually he starts to feel really lonely, and he starts to feel like there's not enough money in the world, that actually it cannot turn back time. There's this sense of guilt at the same time. So I think he's slowly, and I think that this has to do with Taeyeon's support at the same time, because we have the six of wands here. So it's about, okay, let's move on together. Like she somehow makes him feel or reminds him that he can get out of that state. That nothing lasts forever. That he can, take his time. That he has to be patient with himself. And not that he doesn't have to pretend to be stronger than what he is or what he feels. That he shouldn't act like a king, like a royalty, like, oh, I'm so stable, I'm so grandiose, I'm so like prosperous, and I am so luxurious. He doesn't have to pretend with her, because I think that there's something about her that somehow she confronts him. I think that she's very blunt. I think that she has this very blunt personality, especially with the people that she loves. That if she feels like you are not like putting yourself as a priority, or that you're not taking good care of yourself, she will remind you, and she will be like that friend that somehow pushes you forward, that somehow pushes you to face your fears, to get up and do something about it. Like don't get stuck. Don't get stuck, because I think that actually this connection is very useful, and it makes Key feel like empowered. Like there's this sense of that. I think that, I don't know if there's something about Key that he definitely gets along well with females, because I think that when he's surrounded by his male friends, he probably shuts down a bit, or he starts to wear a mask. Like he starts to act like as if he's tougher, as if he's the most intelligent, very witty, very Virgo, very Virgo, like very analytical, very opinionated, and always has the right answer, the right word. He knows what to say, he knows when to say it, but there's something about his sensitivity and his vulnerability that I think in his connection with Taeyeon, he can go that deep without feeling embarrassed for himself, because I think that she doesn't let it get dramatic, and probably they are joking around, or they are like being loud and being very brutally honest with each other, and making fun of each other, and all of a sudden, a very deep subject or conversation to starts to happen between the two of them, and then probably at the end of the conversation they end up crying and hugging each other. I think that this is a very dynamic kind of relationship, where they bring out the warrior in each other's presence. Like, okay, like, yes, we we are vulnerable. Yes, we have feelings. Yes, we cry. Yes, we get hurt just like everyone. But at the end of the day, like, what are we going to do with what we feel? Like, okay, let's do something. We are the rulers of our life. Like, what are we going to do with our sorrows, with our past experiences? Like, come on, let's rise up. Let's become stronger. Let's overcome this. Come on, and let's do it. And then for the relationship as an overall, we got the King of Swords, the Strength card, and the Fool card. So definitely, I think that they will go through very personal growth, this year, and they will accompany each other. But I think that they are definitely, through their conversations and interactions, they are starting to be a bit more assertive, like, being a bit more brave, if that's possible, because I believe they are brave already, but being a bit more firm about who they let in their circle, close, intimate circle. Like, okay, like, let's cut connections that don't respect us enough, or that we feel that things are unfair. They are in this very, like, in this position of where they feel like they have the power to communicate certain people how they truly feel about them, and not feel embarrassed, or feel sad for the other person. No, it's like, come on, this year we're going to be honest with the people that really need to hear this from us. So they somehow push each other, and inspire each other to be honest with the people that they have to be, and also about being stronger, and building something new for them. I think that they definitely want to start over. They want a fresh new beginning for themselves. They want to feel like they are free, or more free. They are thinking about setting themselves free, or going on a different path or journey individually, and they got each other. They support each other. It's like, okay, you want to do this differently, you want to do this in a different way. Okay, I'm your friend, and I am supporting you. Like, like, probably, I think that what actually this connection, what it does is that, since they are, probably there are moments where they are opposites to each other, where they are different, but at the end of the day, that doesn't stop the connection. I think that both of them have very strong characters, that they admit that both of them are probably very bossy, because they have the king here. So, they are very bossy, like, probably they are a bit loud. If they have to speak up their mind, they'll probably, say it very loud and clear. But I think that for them, it's what actually makes them click with each other. It's like, okay, you got me, and I got you. Like, yes, you are annoying, and I'm annoying, and we get each other. There's this sort of respect. So definitely they want to start something new, and in each of them, they are thinking about, okay, I'm going to go for this new path that I was longing for a while to actually do this. So this is the year I'm going to do it. So yes, this is a beautiful reading, actually, guys. So thank you so much to the people that requested this reading. So yes, I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.